We just have to have faith in the RBA. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian here, and welcome to another episode of Heiser Says. Grab your cup of coffee. The Stein's getting repaired. Well, I have to order a new Stein. They come from Austria unless I want a knockoff, but we'll see how that goes. Anyway, we just need to have faith. We need to believe in the RBA so we avoid a recession. Now, I don't know about you, but, well, we're definitely going to have a recession then if the RBA says we'll avoid a recession. What do you think? Do you think they have any respect anymore? Does anyone even trust them? Look at their wage price forecasts. Failure after failure after failure after failure after failure. These are the nincompoops that are affecting every single one of our lives. Isn't it awesome, guys? Isn't it great having a central bank? Don't we all love it? Anyway, let's have a look at this article, guys, because I don't know about you, but I'd be preparing for a recession then if Philip says we're not going to have one. So if Australians don't have faith in the Reserve Bank's promise of a narrow path to avoid recession, they could end up being the cause of one, the central bank's governor, Philip Lowe, has warned. So if we don't have enough faith to go, this is feeling very biblical, to go down the narrow path to avoid a recession, it's you who are to blame, everyone. Bloody hell. I mean, he sounds like a tent preacher that's trying to raise money. Okay? This is just nuts. From our Reserve Bank governor. I'm sure it's written this way on purpose. If people start worrying that the path back from 5% inflation to a more normal level is unrealistic, it might push the economy into a downward spiral, he says. Australians are coping increasing cost of living as inflationary pressures rise, leading to higher prices at the supermarket, and made matters worse by high fuel and gas prices. I know now I'm going to the petrol station. I'll put in a quick 20, and it's hardly anything anymore. I can't bring myself to fill up the tank because it hurts too much, just psychologically. Oh boy, I'm fortunate. I don't have to drive that much for my work. Imagine if you were, let us know in the comments if you're an Uber driver driving every day. It's going to destroy your business. The national minimum wage also recently rose, a move that's hoped to ease the financial burden on households. We know it won't. It's going to drive up costs, everyone, and they'll be passed on to consumers and people will have less hours. That's just wait and see. So there is a path to have inflation come down without the economy having too much pain. But it's a narrow path, Dr. Lowe told a central bankers meeting in Zurich on Friday. But if people start to worry that they can't show that we can't show the credible path back, well, what credibility does the Reserve Bank have? Remember when they were predicting interest rates? Housing. Remember when they were predicting housing falling significantly? When there were calls to shut down the real estate market? Have we all forgotten that? I guess it's a couple of years ago now. It'd be gone from the collective consciousness. The media won't be bringing it up anymore. We just have to have faith, everyone. You have to have faith in the Reserve Bank. Oh, boy. So, 2 to 3% inflation. And I think that shift in psychology could be quite persistent. And we know where that ends. It ends in persistent inflation. And then you've got to have much higher interest rates and an economic downturn to get inflation back down. Well, what do you think, everyone? Let me know in the chat what you think will happen. I suspect this is a bunch of hopium. And this here, high interest rates, economic downturn, and inflation under control is reality. Okay, that's just what my instinct is telling me. Maybe I'm just becoming too cynical. Maybe I'm in my old age. I am preparing for the worst, but you tell me. Some of the younger viewers tell me. If people are confident in inflation being at or returning to normal levels, businesses do not feel the need to put up prices, and employers do not need to push for wage increases, he explained. Remember, we just looked at an article a few days ago about a lady who'd borrowed 1.5 million with a 10% deposit to buy a property in Sydney. Professionals that were now worried that interest rates are going up because she had faith in the RBA when Philip Lowe said rates wouldn't go up until 2024. And how did that work out? In architecture, we do a lot of precedent analysis, looking at historical examples and previous work as a method of developing an argument for a position. So if, let's just say, we do a bit of precedent analysis on this one example I'm putting here on the screen of the Reserve Bank's ability to make a forecast about the economy, would you say they have a stellar track record? Let me know in the comments, guys. I would argue they don't. Over the past couple of decades, there's been a shift in inflation psychology, with both businesses and employees showing more willingness to push for change. You can understand why people faced with high inflation want compensation for it, especially when the unemployment rate is as low as it is. The RBA wanted higher wages. They wanted wage growth to go up. Now, all of a sudden, it's all smoke and mirrors, isn't it? It really is. Dr. Lowe said the current high rate of inflation is the result of a better-than-expected COVID-19 bounce back in the economy, persistent supply chain issues, and the war in Ukraine. Well, is it the war in Ukraine, or is it the tariffs that countries have chose to put on Russia, if you like them or not? Remember, tariffs, we pay. The plebeians pay, okay? Not the ruling class, the plebeians. We're the ones who are going to cop it every time. This is why when people call for tariffs to protect industries here in Australia, it's just going to be more cost. Hang on, I'm getting invaded. Okay, I wasn't raided, guys. It was a child. So let's get back to it. So if you put them together, it's not surprising inflation is so high. And the challenge we all have is to bring it back down as painlessly as we can, he said. Well, maybe you should have increased the interest rate, or maybe you shouldn't have promised that you'd keep rates low until 2024. Just maybe, if it's not surprising. The RBA just feels so reactionary. I've got no confidence in them at all. The Australian economy was showing remarkable resilience, he said. Well, it's because the government has flooded it with, frankly, a shit ton of money and debt. That's why. Okay? That's what happens. And, well, estimations of the actual economic impact of this pandemic without the lockdowns, well, maybe we should question those. Are we allowed to talk about that yet? You know, the whole argument about that. Was it worth the price, everyone? You know, sure, the economy's being resilient, but we've flooded it with a shitload of money. We've overheated the housing market. We've got a profitless boom. And businesses were trading insolvent and are now starting to go bust. Yeah, awesome. It's so surprising. I'm not expecting there to be a recession, but there are risks, he said. Okay, so if our Reserve Bank governor says there won't be a recession, can we bet on, TAB or something? Dr. Lowe said he stood by his predictions that inflation would reach 7% by the end of the year before easing off in the first quarter of next year. Factors contributing to that assessment include temporary relief from some government taxes ending in December, COVID-related problems in the economy showing signs of resolution, the unlikelihood of seeing another dramatic hike in fuel prices, and higher interest rates constraining some spending. So we've got four things together that gives us confidence inflation will start trending lower next year. That's not to say we won't get another shock, but they're pretty powerful influences, he said. The question is we're now grappling with is how fast the decline in inflation will be. So do you have faith in the RBA? Let me know in the comments, guys. I mean, is this a sign that recession's inevitable next year? You tell me. A lot of it comes down to consumer confidence. And if we have more of properties falling, we've got more rate rises coming, even the banks are going to lift rates anyway, we'll have more media articles talking, they'll pull out the tearjerkers. I bought 7 investment properties and now I can't afford it, because I paid interest only and I only have a job that earns flipping burger money, yeah, we'll have to see. I reckon. I would not be shocked at all if we had a recession. I'd be more surprised if we don't. But hey, stranger things could happen. I think a lot of it depends on offshore circumstances beyond our or the Reserve Bank's control. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on this one in the comments down below. If you're a fan and enjoy the content I create here, there are a few ways you can help us out. You can support us financially via YouTube or Patreon. Use our referral links, buy our merch, or call us if you need an architect. Take care, guys. Have a great day. And remember, it's a narrow path, and the way forward is the RBA. Oh, bloody hell. I don't know.